So about 76% of our LGBTQ elders are feeling socially isolated and lonely and worried about their futures.
It's a high percentage. Hello and welcome to Senior Life Publications Ask the Expert podcast, interviews where we talk about all things involving healthcare, finances, free resources, and other important senior-related topics. Hi, I'm David Moss, publisher of Senior Life Publications, which is a free resource you can find throughout the Tampa Bay area.
And I'm Stephen Halstead, sales manager for Senior Life Publications. Also here having a cup of coffee this morning, trying to get our bones warm because it's a little cool outside.
A little cool.
We're not going to complain too much because our northern friends will be mad at us. But I am, Susan, I'm so glad you're here this morning.
I'm so glad I'm here too.
Yeah,
Thank
you look so wonderful in red.
Thank you.
So I want you to tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Susan Talbott, and I am the LGBTQ community support counselor for Epic Generations.
That's a mouthful.
It is. We are thinking about shortening it, but essentially that's it. But the other thing is I'm a program director for Epic Generations. So let me tell you a little bit about who and what Epic is.
Please do.
So Epic is one of the branches under the umbrella of Empath Health. So most people know Empath for Suncoast Hospice, but Epic is another branch of that. And they know us for our care centers. Epic provides all the HIV services, not all, but HIV services in Pinellas and in Hillsborough. In Hillsborough, we're over at Francis House, and here in Pinellas, our office is down on First Avenue South. We provide HIV testing, medical case management. We have a food pantry. We're delving into the STI world, and then so all things for everybody but elders. So when Epic was approached by a grassroots group probably 2 years ago to try to put some services in place for our LGBTQ elders, it just seemed like such a natural fit for Epic to take that on.
Right.
So they were looking for a 501c3 partner, and so here we are. So I was hired to birth this program in April, and it's been just such an amazing journey to get it off the ground and watch these hopes and dreams become a reality. The downside of it was I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to launch a new program in the middle of a pandemic when there's no marketing.
Right. Well, join the club. But what's really a main one point that you really want to bring up about this program? Because it sounds so interesting that you think our senior viewers are really going to need to know about and want to know about.
So the very first program that we launched under Epic Generations is our Friendly Caller program. And what we do is match our participants, who we call our friends at home, with a volunteer who makes casual conversation phone calls a couple of times a week. So it's gardening, family, whatever you want to do. And it really helps decrease social isolation and loneliness. And the original goal was to decrease that social isolation and loneliness in our LGBTQ elders out in the community. What we're finding, though, is it's such a reciprocal relationship between our volunteers because we're all stuck at home. We're all looking for that hug, whether it's on the phone or on a Zoom or and so we're finding that we're just feeding the souls and feeding the needs of both our participants and our volunteers. It's just been so rewarding to hear the feedback from both sides.
Now more than ever with the isolations, not only with COVID, but even before with seniors who are, say if they didn't have any family members here or anything, and really aren't interacted to begin with, to be encouraged to actually be and involved with that, I think is hugely important now more than ever, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think, you made the comment about how, launching this during the pandemic, and maybe it was the perfect time in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to look at the golden lining and everything, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we do live in Tampa Bay is a very diverse group of individuals, and we are known for that diversity, but at the same time, I think a lot of people still don't realize that there's issues out there and that there are people who are people are lonely. Seniors are isolated somewhat anyway, but then you throw in a minority, such as the LGBT community, and the numbers start to double a little bit. So I think it's really important for everyone out there to know that you probably know someone who needs this, or who doesn't want a phone call, right?
Right.
But, serving that community, I think, is huge.
Exactly. So about 76% of our LGBTQ elders are feeling socially isolated and lonely and worried about their futures.
It's a high percentage.
It's a high percentage. And this group of elders are the folks that fought the original fight. So they're the folks who probably aren't married, who don't have children, which
think about that.
Some
You're
of
right.
our
Are the
younger
front
counterpoints.
lines of, right.
Yeah, who probably were estranged, not probably, but may have been estranged from their family for years because they were separated when they came out.
That's right.
This is also the group that have chosen their chosen families, which we call them, but those people are all probably around the same age that they are. So everybody's aging at the same time.
Yeah.
So then you take that and you couple that, let's say you've got a couple who's facing Alzheimer's dementia. Now you've got a caregiver that's isolated because they're a minority and isolated again because of the dementia.
Gotcha.
So if you can do a half an hour phone call twice a week, it just can, like we say,
It's a big difference.
simple phone call can really make somebody's day.
But I think it's probably somewhat difficult for some people to pick up the phone and make that phone call and say, I would like this service across the board, but specifically in the LGBTQ community, that may be very, very difficult. So how do you tackle that? Is that an issue? Do people call and say, I don't know if I want people to know? I mean, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So we built this big, beautiful website that I was so pleased with and so proud of. And the only people that use it are the volunteers.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So what I have found is I've gotten a couple of phone calls, but mostly they'll call in and want everything paper, hard copied to them with a self-addressed stamped envelope, which is fine. But it's making that first call. They found the places that we've gotten our referrals from have been like our medical case managers who said, I really think this person could use a call. Or we've had announcements put like in the Gabber and it's quiet. They can pick the Gabber up, they can go home in the privacy of their own home, they can call me. And so it's very unintrusive.
Yeah, and I think that's important because honestly, it is those people, those social workers, those nurses, those doctors, those case managers who are working with their patients, who know what their needs are, who are going to be the first contact to say, hey, I know this is going to be tough for you, but I understand here's a resource for you. And that's huge. So it's not just getting to the seniors out there hoping they'll call, but it's really educating the community. And you do community education, correct, with professionals?
We do. So there's really three missions of Epic Generations. One was the Friendly Caller program. Another is to get some support groups up and running, which of course has been a challenge again because we can't meet in person yet. And virtually, we're going to try virtual, but I think you just don't get that sense of comfort and camaraderie that you do when you're in person, but we're going to try it. And then the third is professional education. And so we actually have worked with Sage's information and put together a PowerPoint and a CEU on cultural competency and how to make your facility really ready for this aging LGBTQ population to start coming into alternatives other than home, whether it's assisted living or independent living or nursing center. Hospice, and just absolutely getting them ready to care for our elders and making sure that their dignity and respect and unique needs are met.
Right.
Sounds like a great program. So if I was trying to get in touch with you, Susan, and volunteer, and I'm really interested, how would I go about doing that?
So there's three ways you can do that. You can go to our website. It's myepic.org and /generations. And there's a spot on there that says, I would like to volunteer. And you click on that and it clicks right through to me and I'll give you a call back. You can call me, and my direct line at Epic is 727-328-5524. Or you can email me at susantalbott.empathhealth.org.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Thank you so much for all that information. You
Thanks
can
for
also
having
find
me.
her information in our monthly Senior Life publication.
Yep.
You can give a call. If you pick that up, you can get the phone number and everything from there. Susan, thank you for being here.
Thank you
this
for having me.
This is huge. I think, just spreading that word out there and helping seniors understand.
Well, and
help.
giving people a really neat opportunity to volunteer.
That's more important.
Because you can do this from anywhere. It's a phone, so you can do it from home if you're not comfortable going out, or, you can do it in your spare time, or you can do it in your downtime, or So it's just a really neat way to volunteer and make a difference without having to be worried about being out around other people.
I have
right now.
volunteered.
Yes, you have, and I appreciate
And it's a
you.
very rewarding experience, but can be difficult as well.
Yeah.
Just like with anything.
Yep.
But I think those of you out there know exactly what we're talking about. And if this is something that you're interested in, please give them a call.
Absolutely.
And give a little bit of your time.
We'd love to have you.
So anyway, I want to thank 4th Street Village Inn here at St. Pete once again for hosting us. They're our go-to, our buddies from the very beginning, and we appreciate Susan being here with us today. And if you haven't had a chance to come in to a Village Inn, check it out. They have a wonderful 55-plus menu, but they also just have a wonderful menu, and you can get it to go. You can also get it delivered through Uber Eats.
And
Don't
free
forget
pie
a
Wednesdays.
Free pie Wednesday,
Wednesdays.
Fish Fry Friday. Anyway,
We go on and
go
on.
on. I think we're hungry.
I think it's the Free Pie Wednesday. It's
That's
just
the
that
one that
everybody
reels it
knows that.
in.
Yeah.
Well, just before we wrap it up, thank you so much, Susan, for joining us. But really what kind of took me back was that statistic of 76% that really popped up of how our
big number.
isolation of our senior population is really growing on top of COVID and everything else. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing those statistics with us that we really
Absolutely.
didn't know about. And thank you for joining us too as well. Please go to Ask the Expert podcast on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. And if that's something you want to find out more information about, like Susan's that we have today, please go there, like and subscribe. And also pick up a Senior Life publication at all the Village Inns that are locally throughout the Tampa Bay market. You can find them all over, especially with doctors' offices too as well, libraries and other Winn-Dixie supermarkets too as well. So be on the lookout for that. But if you want to get in touch with me, my name is David Moss. Again, I'm the publisher of Senior Life Publications. If you would like to have it direct mailed to you, please give me a call at 727-430-5180 and we'll get that out to you every month. Thank you for joining us again and have a great day.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.